Have you ever had a day where your body is like, nope, not doing this? Not a dramatic collapse, just your brain won't, brain, your patience is gone, or your leggings feel emotionally loud. That is not laziness. That is not you being too sensitive. That is your system asking for alignment instead of another round of push through. Today, we are talking about what happens when you have spent years performing I'm fine and your body finally calling BS. We're going into intuition energy and the invisible stuff that keeps showing up as very real burnout, pain, and exhaustion with intuitive energy healer Alison Stuckey. Stick around. Welcome to Mindset Medicine with Dr. Tanya Berfield, where science meets soul, burnout meets boundaries, and high achieving women finally stop performing and start healing. I am a resilience and transformation expert, nervous system strategist, and recovering overfunctioner just like you. This podcast is your sanctuary for breaking cycles, rewriting stories, and reclaiming your energy, your peace, and your power. Each week, we blend neuroscience, somatic practices, and spiritual truth to help you unlearn the noise and remember who you really are. You're not broken. You're breaking free. And this is your medicine. Welcome back to Mindset Medicine with Dr. Tanya Berfield. Hi, everyone. It's so great to see you back. I have a fun guest with me tonight. I think this is going to be a really good time. We are dipping our toe. We're not even dipping our toe. We're diving right into the hippie woo today in a way that we don't always do here, but I think it's going to be really fun and definitely enlightening. So with me, I have Alison Stuckey. She goes by lots of titles, but today, we're going to call her an intuitive energy healer. And she especially works with women who are dealing with some midlife clarity. So, Allison, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. This is
Yeah,
going to be
you bet.
fun.
It is going to be fun. So, you are joining us from Toronto area, yeah? Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. I love that so
Yeah.
much. For some reason, I do end up with a lot of people that are not necessarily within the United States that we tend to work with. I think maybe other areas are just a little more open than we sometimes are here in the US. So I
Yeah,
love it.
they
I
just
love
they
it.
just haven't found their stride yet.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. So why don't you just tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, how you got there, the whole shebang.
Yeah. Well, that's a long story. I'll try and summarize.
The edited version.
Yes, I fell in this is my passion, my purpose, my calling. I could no longer avoid. It has always been with me. I've always had gifts. I've been very lucky my entire life. But I didn't know what that was. I didn't have a word for intuition. I didn't know what that was.
Mhm.
When I was little, I now would have been the person with the moo and the crystal ball and the turban
Mhm.
that people
Yep.
laughed at.
Yep.
So it wasn't safe. I kept it all in.
Mhm.
I never told people what I could do. I never expressed anything. I didn't even know what it was.
Yeah, or that it
And
was different maybe. Did you recognize that it was different?
exactly.
Yeah.
No, my grandma had gifts, but my
Mhm.
mom just thought, "Oh, yeah, grandma saw something, blah, blah, blah," and then it would
Yep.
happen. Um, but nobody ever talked about it. It wasn't normal. It wasn't acceptable. And I always conformed and put myself in the box. And
Mhm.
my entire childhood, I was nothing life-threatening, but sick. And a lot of things with my throat infections. We know that's the
Mhm.
throat chakra, not
Mhm.
speaking your truth.
Yep.
Now, in
Yep.
retrospect, I know what everything was. And
Right.
when I was 12, I had a kidney disease. Kidneys are fear because
Mhm.
it wasn't safe for me to be myself.
Mhm.
Fast forward into even my 30s and 40s, I was regularly sick. I was overwhelmed. I was stressed out because everything in my life was not aligned with who I was. I was in corporate. I did my own thing with a very corporate focus, numbers, 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 sales, 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 do all of these things. And I remember pushing back when I was very successful in this one business I had. And this is going back about 15 years, 20 years ago. And I remember everything passing me by, and energetically, I just went, whoa, what is happening? Because it felt so authentic and everything was passing me by. And I was just standing still, completely out of my element. Nothing felt
Mhm.
aligned, nothing felt right. We promoted in that business. It was a network marketing business, promoted to a very high level. I was 6, 7 months later, completely
Mhm.
incapable of returning a two-line email because spirit
Mhm.
whacked me on the head finally and said, no how, no way. This is not for you. I didn't listen. I ended up
Mhm.
with food sensitivities and allergies that manifested with eczema all over my face. It looked like I'd take a curling iron to my throat and down the
Ugh.
side of my face for an entire summer.
Yep.
The time I was selling skincare and makeup,
Oh
my
my.
confidence plummeted. I was
Yep.
completely out of alignment, still getting sick regularly. I was hit with an autoimmune, nothing life threatening, but an autoimmune
Mhm.
just took
Yep.
everything down. Everything was to stop me in my tracks so I could look at what was going on. I was not safe. I was trying to fit into this box that didn't feel right. And
Mhm.
suddenly, about 12, 15 years ago, everything exploded for me. I couldn't shut down my personal growth, my spiritual growth. And it caused it was one of the reasons my ex-husband didn't believe in any of this. So it caused me to
Mhm.
step out of my marriage because I was out of alignment in so many places.
Right.
Everything felt off. I was getting sick regularly. I stepped out of that marriage almost 4 years ago. I have not really been sick for in the last 4 years. Because
Huh. How about
everything's
that?
aligned now. Everybody around me is sick. I get the
Uh-huh.
energetic flu where I'm like, "What's going
Yep.
on here?" Oh, that's what
Yep.
I'm purging. But I
Mhm.
don't feel physically sick. A
Mhm.
little bit, but it's different. But it's
Yeah.
me when I need to stop, rejig things so I am moving in alignment. All
Mm.
of my gifts came out. I didn't know what they were. I never knew what an empath was until about 10 years ago. I had no idea my intuition was so sparked. There are
Mhm.
9 main intuitive clairs.
Mhm.
I have all of them to some degree. 5 of them are
Ooh.
extraordinarily strong.
Wowza.
I can talk to angels, I can talk to spirits, I forget what it's called, but I can go into other dimensions and realities.
Mhm.
I have an ability to find things, computers, key cards, sunglasses, jewelry, animals.
My son lost his wallet. Do you know where it
Yeah,
is? His
we could
military
talk
ID is
about
in
it.
there.
We could talk about it.
He's freaking out. He's called me 4 times
Yeah.
today.
Yeah, we could talk about that. But
That's
I didn't
hysterical.
know that I had all of these abilities,
Yeah.
and it became something I couldn't ignore.
Mhm.
It became bigger than I was, and I don't have an option of not doing what I do.
Mhm.
It's that big.
Yeah.
And now I work with women primarily.
Mm.
I tend to get husbands as well and
Mhm.
kids,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I work
Because
primarily
once
with
we're
midlife
fixed,
women.
we need everybody else to be, right? Like, I need you to do
Absolutely.
this too. Yeah. It
Yeah.
makes good
So I work
sense.
with midlife women who are juggling all the things. We're the Gen X, I'm
Mhm.
fine generation. Just keep heaping it
Mhm.
on. I'm fine.
I'm a
You
dumpster
have
fire,
no
but I'm not
sense
gonna
of
talk about
self.
it.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Dumpster
Uh,
fire. There is nothing left in the well.
mhm.
Everything is breaking down, but you've got all the balls in the air, hoping nothing comes down. You've got all the plates
Mhm.
spinning, hoping nothing crashes to the floor. There's nothing left. You don't know who you are. You don't know which way is up.
Mhm.
And you are in complete misalignment, disconnected from yourself.
Mhm.
You're there. You're just
Yep.
completely disconnected, and everything else takes precedent. Everything is taking energy away from you. I lived like this for years. I
Mhm.
was always tired. I was always flitting around to the next thing, and I didn't know what presence was. I didn't know who I
It's one of my
was,
favorite words. Mhm.
and I was for everybody else with no consideration of me, and it's very much a put the
Yep.
mask on your face first, so you
Mhm.
have something to help and give to others.
Mhm.
You can't
Mhm.
take from an empty well.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely. So
yeah.
I'm really curious, like, as this started to develop, as you like,
Mhm.
you've known you've got these things, maybe you recognize that it's different or not, but also you need to keep this inside or not necessarily showcase it. As it's getting to this point that you don't have a choice, it's coming out whether you
Mhm.
like it or not. How does that land with you? And how do you, like, there's so many things I want to know about this. So, like, how does it start to manifest? How do you recognize what's happening? How do you be okay with that? And then how do you know you're not going crazy?
Yeah.
I love the
Sorry, we
kitties
have
in the screen. I love it.
we have a guest.
I love it. I love it.
Um, he'll be up and down.
It's
Uh,
fine.
it was a very comforting because there was
Mm.
validation of
Mhm.
what I was and what I've always felt. I've always been the square peg in the round hole,
Yep.
uncomfortable in crowds. I worked in corporate. I
Mhm.
was always I always describe myself as the chameleon. I fit with everybody. I
Mhm.
got along with everybody. Didn't have any really deep relationships.
Mhm.
Always had people around me, buffers to my true authentic self.
Mhm.
So I never had to share that authentic self. So when all of this started coming out for me, and I realized, hey, this is something that one isn't going away. Two, I need to
Mhm.
know what is happening to me. And it happened very quickly. My acceleration was very steep. Okay, don't take my earphones. Go. Keeping it real.
We're all good.
I had some very fortunate, very,
Mhm.
very uh well positioned people who came into my life. One being my main mentor who I met, who really helped me expand and
That's
understand what was
important.
happening.
Yeah.
I am a Reiki master. I've never worked
Mhm.
with anybody on the table because I wanted to understand the energy of it.
Mhm.
So
Same.
if you look at
Mhm.
Reiki, if you understand that, this is where I am now.
Mhm.
And I have a lot of really tight people, my inner circle, who gets me, who there is nothing I can say to them that is going to shock them.
Mhm.
And likewise, it's the other way. So
Yeah.
that inner part of me that I kept hidden so long because it wasn't safe now has
Mhm.
a safe place with my key people in my life.
Mhm.
And I've had people come to me, "Well, can you?" I'm like, "I don't know. Well, try." Like,
Yeah, we'll
"Oh,
give it a
look at
shot.
that. I can
Mhm.
talk to angels. Look at that."
Who
But
knew?
that's not a normal thing that you would talk to people about. I come from corporate. I
Yep.
have a
Yep.
bachelor of science in psychology. Like, this
Yep.
is not who I was trained to be.
Mhm. No, I totally hear you. And that's so many similar things that you've talked about there. I also do this thing where I don't have a ton I'm super I call myself an introverted extrovert. Like I can talk to anybody all day long. I just don't want
Totally.
to. But I can and I'll do
Yeah.
it. And people are drawn to me in a way that I
Yeah.
don't always understand. And for a while before I like when I was younger, I was like, am I a narcissist? Because like which is sounds
Empath.
ridiculous. Yes, but I was like, these people like seem to be drawn to me. They seem to really like me, and I don't even
Uh-huh.
remember them. Like, why is this happening? And is this like something wrong with me? And so
Yeah.
that always like if I say that to people, they'll be like, "What do you mean you thought you were a narcissist?" Like, I just didn't understand. I didn't understand people were drawn to me, and they'll share things with me that I'm like, "Oh my, okay, let's
Oh,
talk about that
the
then."
amount of TMI I know, I'm like, "Whoa, I don't
Yeah.
need to know that." But
Oh, I
this is
used
from
to
when
work
I
with
was a kid. When I
yeah,
was a
me
kid,
too.
people would
Me
do
too.
that. Yeah.
Yep, and they would look to me for advice, and so I remember one
Mhm.
time I worked when I was in corporate, I was working, my girlfriend walked into my office to talk about something professional, and she was like, "That is it." Because she walked in and saw something, she was like, "That is it. I am painting a sign on your wall that says, 'Just because I smile does not mean you can show me your underwear.'" Because she walked into someone showing me their underwear, and I was sitting there like, "What the hell is happening right now? Like, what is going on?" I think she saw the look on my face. I don't understand. But
Yeah.
I think that, like, I get that and I recognize that, and it came back to me not understanding energy and what I was putting out for other people and what they were reacting to. And then also I like
100%.
you alluded to something that sounded like shiny object syndrome, where like, just this is the new cool thing. This is the new cool thing. Cause there's so many things coming at you at once and I don't know where to start with it.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you found people that were able to sort of mentor you and guide you through some of that.
Mhm.
So I think that's incredible because that can be hard to find.
One of my worst things, I used to work in events.
Mhm, me too.
As an empath,
Yep, it's a lot.
I call myself an extreme empath. I would do
Yep.
an event and crash.
Mhm,
I didn't understand. I said, "Oh, it must be all the late nights. It must be whatever."
mhm.
It was
No,
too much
it's the
energy
energy.
coming at me. I
Mhm.
would do conferences in Vegas. I
Yep,
hate Vegas.
yep,
I'd
same.
be in
I did
Vegas.
it.
You're staying in this hotel with I don't know, thousands of rooms, energy this way, energy this way,
Mhm, mhm.
everywhere. And I'd be
Yep.
up. Because I'm an extrovert, barely,
Mhm.
I can be up for that. But as
Yep,
soon as I came home, I'd come back on the plane. I'm like,
yep.
yeah. And
And you would get sick, right?
I'd, I'd be sick.
Mhm,
I'd
mhm,
be sick. I'd be out. I couldn't
mhm.
do anything. My brain would shut down for the
Yep.
next however many days as I was
Oh my gosh.
recovering from
That
all of
rings
that.
so true for me. So I did a lot of that kind of stuff as well. And I even remember I think it was my middle son saying to me when he was like in elementary school, probably like second or third grade, he would say, "Mom, you're going to get sick because you miss me." Like recognized at that age that when I got home, I would be sick because by the time
Mhm.
I did all of that, like up, 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 all of that energy, by the time I got home, I would be very sick, and I would
Yeah.
be like, "Oh, it's because I was on the plane. It was because I was around people." They didn't understand.
And we're in this
Mhm,
physical form, which looks fine,
mhm,
but
yeah,
you are a complete freak show inside.
mhm,
And you still, because we were taught that way as Gen X's,
yep,
midlife now, just push through it. You'll be
yep,
fine.
yep,
But you're just a complete disaster area inside, but you look okay. So people don't
mhm,
understand that you are dying a slow death inside energetically,
yep,
but you're still performing because we were taught
right,
to perform.
mhm,
A huge commentary that I've encountered in the last month or so is rest, 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 rest and reset, rest and reset. And
mhm,
a lot of the forums I'm on have very spiritual people and energetic people who understand this. They're like, "Yep, my body's telling me to shut down.
mhm,
Like, I need to stop and rest." That happened to me last Tuesday. I
yep,
could not I had this whole list of things. I mean, cancel, 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 cancel. My body's saying, "You are
yep,
going to read
we're
a
done with
book,
that.
you are going to sleep, and you are going to meditate today."
Mhm, I love that.
Because I know if I push through it took me a lot of years to learn. If I
Mhm,
push through it, I'm not
yeah,
going to be okay on the other side.
yep,
But
it's
if I
exactly
just
right.
take that day or
And
that
yeah.
half day, I'll be fine.
Yeah, and not only are you not gonna be okay on the other side, but the work that you're doing and who you're doing it for is not gonna be nearly as good as it could have been.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And I have a much bigger purpose than me. So I have to take care of me so that I can
Right.
be out
Which is
there.
that's sort of a hard thing to also call into alignment, the
Yeah.
knowing what that balance is and where the lines are. I talk about a little bit, like, over the last 4 or 5 years, I've been going through my own sort of iterations and getting to, like, new levels, I'm saying in quotes, because I'm working through my own things, and have been
Mhm.
through a couple of things that, man, this sucks. This is not a lesson I wanted to learn, but I'm learning it. And I was just saying to my
Yeah.
girlfriend the other day, like, I'm struggling a little bit with my own energy right now, and knowing that there are a couple of areas of my life that are not quite in alignment the way that they need to be, and I'm working towards it. We're gonna get there, but I also am not pushing in a way that I normally do, and I'm okay with
Yeah.
what's happening and where I'm at and what I'm getting done versus what I'm not getting done, and how fast I'm checking off the to-do list versus not checking off the to-do list, because I think that it's a lesson that I just continue to learn over and over and over again, and I'm finally getting to a point that it is
Yeah.
okay. I'm going to get there. It just isn't the timeline that I thought I needed it to be on because
Yeah.
of the proving, because of the performance, because of the expectations, because of the perfectionism. All of those things get to go out the window for a little bit and just serve me so that I can serve people the
Mhm.
way that I'm supposed to be doing.
And how many times have we heard, "Just push through it, you'll be fine.
Ah, I'm done
Just
with
keep
that.
going." And we have been so programmed and conditioned to
Mhm.
do. Just keep
Yeah.
performing, just keep doing, just keep more, 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 just keep heaping it
Mhm.
on. More is
Absolutely.
better.
Yep.
Longer is better. More hours are better.
Mhm.
But it's
It's not.
so out of our natural alignment with
Mhm.
who we are in our 0 point. Not
Mhm. Yep.
this human experience we've got, but at our core, that's
Yeah.
where that misalignment comes out because we are in these vessels that have been taught, just keep going, take from the well, take from the well, take from the well.
Mhm.
It'll be fine.
Yep.
But then you crash. And how many women do you know that have gone through the burnout?
Mhm.
That's the
Yeah.
hard lesson you have to learn. That's not the way to do
100%.
it.
Turns out some of us learn this lesson over and over again.
Yeah.
So I when you talk about what you do and how you do it, I feel pretty comfortable with that and understanding like what that
Mhm.
means or what that could look like. But I'm
Mhm.
certain that there are quite a few people that are listening that are like, I don't understand what she's talking about. And I like if I went
Yeah.
and worked with her, what would that mean? What would that look like? So can maybe
Yeah.
tell us a little bit more or give us some examples of things that you've been able to help people with or how you've done them.
So I'm a coach,
Mhm. Mhm.
but I have all of these other abilities. So one of my abilities is to channel whatever I need to say, whether it's working with people, whether it's on something like this. I
Mhm.
won't remember what we've talked about in half
Same.
an
Yep.
hour
Let it
because
come.
it's just coming as it's needing to come.
Mhm.
And when I work with clients, because I work everybody's unique when I work one-on-one with clients. There are some underlying similarities in the midlife woman and the Gen X woman
Mhm.
in the collective on this planet. There's
Yep.
some underlying stuff that everybody's going through. But everybody's story is different and it's unraveling the story that is unique to them. A lot of it
Mhm.
is anchored into our DNA with ancestral memories. We are a product. If we're sitting here, we're a product of all these greats. If you're looking at
Mhm.
a family tree, and we're carrying the DNA, and typically I go back 20 or 30 generations. We're carrying all
Mhm.
this DNA because the inflection point of whatever vow, contract, whatever agreement was done here that was out of alignment has been
Mhm.
reinforced all the way down. And we're sitting here with all of that memory in our DNA. So,
Mhm.
my ability is to go in and see where those energy blocks are. And one of my abilities is to go back and see what happened here. I don't always share it because it's usually atrocious, as
Mhm.
we know human history to be. They'll
Yep.
give me a glimpse of it because I don't wanna see any of that. I'm considered a
Mhm.
white light in the energy and healing world. I don't
Mhm.
wanna be a self-fulfilling prophecy for anybody. I don't
Yep.
wanna put the bad energy on anybody. My abilities are always in light for the greater good of humanity.
Mm.
So They give me a glimpse and we go back. We heal from here all the way back and offer everybody healing back in the ancestral line. Because everything in my world, everything everywhere all at once. Timelines,
Mhm.
dimensions, realities, everything.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
I can see all of that. I can also see the energy blocking us. We can do all of the therapy, all of the counseling, all of the coaching, all of this stuff. But if you have energy blocks within your energetic field, your auric
Mhm.
field, in your physical human experience, in your DNA, in your energy field that you've carried from typically ancestrally, and then they sort of crisscross over past lives as well. I do believe in past lives. They
Mhm.
crisscross over. Those two are very intertwined for me. So I can't
Mhm.
decipher necessarily which one's which, but that's all held as energy in our body. So when we're running loops, and
Yep.
it's loops that our grandparent, our
Mhm.
aunt, our cousin, everybody has the same type of things going on, and you're seeing these patterns,
Mhm.
that's what I unravel because that is an ancestral pattern when it's showing up in a whole bunch of different places that's sitting in your DNA, in your energy field. Until we remove that physical energy block,
Mhm.
and energy is everything, energy is everywhere. We feel the echoes of all of this in our energetic fields. We feel the uh, shadows of all of that in our energy fields because we're holding that DNA. So
Mhm.
we go out in a session and remove that so you're clear. I've healed chronic knee pain, chronic migraines, chronic hip pain, patterns of different things because it's not yours. You're burdened with this.
Mhm.
And even that pattern of do, just keep it on, I'll be fine. Well, that
Mhm.
is the servitude, the slavery, the whole feminine masculine
Yep.
imbalance that
Mhm.
we as women in this lifetime in our human
Mhm.
experience are carrying, and that's what's being balanced again, coming back into balance. With
Mhm.
it started with the women's lib movement in the
Yep.
60s and 70s, free love, all of that, into the 80s when there was empowerment. If you think about it, 100 years ago, we couldn't vote, we couldn't own things. We couldn't have a credit card till the
Yeah.
50s,
That
I
I
believe
was
it
gonna say
was.
I was thinking 60s. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, might have been the 60s.
Yep.
How imbalanced is that? So, on top of it, as women specifically in this lifetime, yes, we probably have lifetimes or ancestors
Mhm.
back here in the male side. So we heal both the perpetrator and the
Mhm.
victim of
Mhm.
whatever it is. I always offer healing to both because who
Yep.
knows
Me too.
where we
Yep.
went over.
It happened for a reason, right? Like that didn't somebody
Yeah.
didn't just decide to do
But
that.
we are here in
Mhm.
this lifetime with this awareness to break that cycle. It
Yeah.
stops with us because we are in this spiritual awakening. There is a lot of light on this planet. When you walk into a dark room and you flip the switch, it is
Mhm.
impossible to stay in the dark.
Mhm. Oh,
There
that's
is
I
a
like
lot
it
of
sounds
light
so
on this
simple,
planet.
but man, there it is. Yeah.
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 And what I've seen are all these little tiny lights. So there's sparks, there's little tiny flames on a match, there's light
Mhm.
bulbs, there's room lights, there's street lights, and then there's
Mhm.
beacons and bigger.
Yep.
And they're
Yep.
all sitting there. Where he's like, well, no, there's so much dark on this planet. No, no. You're seeing the loudest things.
Mhm.
There is a lot of light. It's just
Yep.
quiet.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
It's
waiting
just
for you.
quiet, and they're building.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a magical time on Earth, but
Yeah.
we are here to
You're right. Yeah.
stop things. This is the stop,
Mhm.
the awareness,
Yep.
so we
Break
can
the
stop the
cycles. It's
patterns.
time. So speaking
Yeah.
of stopping the patterns, so I listening to what you're saying about that, I'm
Mhm.
I'm assuming that your experiences are probably along the same lines as me when I'm working with some of my people, and that like when getting through this is amazing. Like when you can recognize what pattern needs to be broken, what is causing you to hold on to it, how do we release that? What comes out of that, the impact of that is so phenomenal. But getting there
Mhm.
is not rainbows and butterflies. And so it does hurt for a
No.
minute and it can be
I
really
make a lot of people
uncomfortable.
cry,
Yeah, me too. Me too.
but I hold them.
But
They
that's
feel the
okay,
people like,
right?
"Oh, you're
Yeah.
so calm when you're doing
Yeah.
this." Yeah, but
Yeah, it's
not my
I mean,
first
it's
rodeo.
yep, and also, like, we recognize that the other side of this is great. That's when you get that growth, right? Like, it's just like growing pains with a teenager. It's gonna hurt. Like,
Mhm.
in the moment, that means we have to get our bodies prepared for that. We have to like, what do they need? They need extra nutrition. They need extra, like, mental support. They need extra sleep. I don't know where that came from, but man, it's true, right? So they
Yeah.
need all that support to have this growing pain. It's no different when we're talking about letting go of something that is holding us back in a way that we want to let go of. It I
Mhm.
will tell people if that makes you uncomfortable, if that gives you like a moment of panic just talking about the possibility of doing it, it's time to do it. Your body is ready for this. Your mind is ready for this. Your soul is
100%.
ready for this. It's going to suck.
The one thing with all of the healing I've done, and I've been very privileged to have some incredible healers around me as very, very close friends. After my marriage, I had the luxury of being able to do healing sessions, not a joke, between
Mhm.
1 and 9 hours a day,
Whoa.
intensively for 2 to 3
I'm
years.
not sure if that would be great or awful.
It was intense.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
healed a lot.
Yeah.
I needed to go through it in order
Mhm.
to be here.
Sure, always, always.
I avoided
Mhm.
because, as with most people, I was used to being comfortable.
Huh?
I
That's what we
didn't
do.
want to go in and look inside because that was
Mhm.
uncomfortable. I had to be real with myself. I had to be unabashedly honest with myself.
Yep.
That's a scary place.
Mhm.
Once I went through my divorce, in a very short period of time, I look back and thought, "Oh my god, I can't believe I actually did what I did in that period of time." But I was in compartmentalized.
Mhm.
I just had to get through it. So
Mhm.
after that, I took the story of I can't do it to this is not hard.
Mhm.
And once I flipped that and thought, "You know what? It's never as bad as I make it
Mhm.
out to be." The
Yeah.
worry before.
Yep.
And time and time again,
Mhm.
and with my coaches, with people that I work with as healers now for my own stuff, because we always need to see our blind spots.
Mhm.
Again and again and again, I will have the comment back, "Oh, you did that? You asked me to do that. Why wouldn't I do that? Oh, most people don't do that." I'm all in.
Right. We're doing this. We're doing
I'm
it.
doing this. I'm all in. I don't care if it's gonna be painful. I don't care if I'm gonna cry for an hour over one thing that I'm healing.
Yep. Yep.
It it's going to be worth it on the other side, being
Mhm.
uncomfortable. And we have
Yes.
to be uncomfortable to get through it. And it is never as bad as you think it's going to be.
Yep. Exactly.
And
I
so worth it on
always
the other side.
Always. I always like, I love personal development and going to trainings and doing all the things. I always get so excited to learn the new thing that I forget that you're gonna experience this yourself to learn it, like, that's how that works, and so
Yeah.
I always get to this training, I'm like, "Oh, crap, I have to do this. Like, I'm gonna have to do this first." It's always like, if I knew that ahead of time, I maybe wouldn't have gone to the training, but I always do it, and then, I
Yeah.
go through the thing. But then also when we stop and recognize like so many other things like, yep, this portion of this healing is really uncomfortable and it stinks, but it's not any more uncomfortable than staying where you're at and not doing the thing. So in the long like maybe short term it sucks, but
It
long term mm,
what now doesn't make sense to me is you've been living this pattern
mm,
for potentially years,
right.
being in this pain point, being this unhappy, misaligned, whatever it is, and
Mhm.
you have to go through this much
Right.
discomfort.
Yep. You can do anything for a
But
minute. Just
you've
you can do
been
it.
dealing with that for years or
Yeah.
months or decades,
Yeah.
and you can make this little hop
Yeah. You can do it. It doesn't mean
so
you
that
want
it's a
to, but
totally different. Yeah,
yep. Exactly.
yeah.
So do you have a favorite? I'm putting you on the spot now, but do you have a favorite, like, this is like the most interesting, like, thing that I took somebody through, or like one of the coolest healing
Oh
sessions
my
I've ever
goodness, there's so
done, or
many.
yeah.
Um, yeah, the ones that always throw me are, and I always know it's going to be different than what they expect it to be.
Mhm.
Well, I usually ask, especially if they're repeat clients.
Mhm.
So, is there anything that's coming up for you? Well, X, Y, or Z. And my first inkling is, well, I don't that's where we're going to go today. I don't know where we're going to go, but I don't think it's there.
Yep.
And I had a client the other day, or maybe 2 weeks ago. I worked with her a couple times in the last 2 weeks. And I said, "Well, what's coming up?" And she said, "Well, blah, blah, blah," whatever it was. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think that's where we're going to go." We went back to ancient Egypt. We were
Nice.
in all of this crazy stuff with clearing this and that and womb healing and all kinds of. I'm like,
Mm,
whoa, okay, I didn't know we were going here today.
yeah. Yeah. We're gonna bypass
Yeah,
what she was thinking and
yeah,
go even further. I love that.
yeah.
I love that.
She's had some really she's incredibly open, and tuned in herself. So the
Mhm.
healings
She
are
must be,
super
yeah.
powerful. Um, I work with a woman who always has some sort of physical release. It's like,
Mhm.
"Oh, I'm feeling really sick. I need to lie down." I said, "You do whatever you need to
Mhm.
do." She's been shaking
Yep.
on the floor, releasing stuff. She's had to leave the room to go throw up.
Mhm.
It's all good. She's fine on the other side. And she said, "I
Yep.
know I have to purge
Yeah.
this."
Yeah. Our
So
body
it
holds it
it can
holds
get
it.
intense.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet. I
And I
bet.
frequently make people cry, but it
I
always
do,
feels
yeah.
good. They always
Yeah.
feel very good after they cry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do this
Yeah.
I often do that, and then I also, as I'm working with somebody, I'll be like, "I'm sorry, I didn't see this coming, but you're gonna have the flu for the next couple of days," or maybe you need to think about being off, like, next time you see me, like, do it before you're, like, right like, when you're not gonna be working the next day, because this is probably gonna hurt.
Yeah.
I'll be as gentle as I can, but we've got some stuff to let go of, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that
Awesome.
that happens occasionally. They do need some
Mm,
downtime. Typically,
yep,
people have a nap if they can after they work with me, or they have a really early
perfect.
night.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
that's
when you move that much
mhm,
energy, your body the energy
yep,
moves, and then your physical human experience, your body has held this for so long, and then
mhm.
it's gone. We remove that energetic
Yeah.
piece,
Yep.
and your body is in shock, thinking,
Mhm.
"Wait a second, we've lived with this their entire life. What am we supposed to do now?" Energy precedes matter, so your body has to catch up and
Mhm.
acclimatize and accept
Absolutely.
that this
One
is
of
no
my
longer
first
there.
ex yeah, one of my first experiences with this, and I didn't understand it at the time, is, they will tell you in massage or what yoga or different things like that, that, your lymphatic system could drain and that could make you sick, and I believe that, but I also believe
Mhm.
that it could be an energy piece now, I just didn't know it then. And when I first learned, qigong, which is along the lines of tai chi, so stretching and
Mhm.
breathing and moving your energy, I didn't understand the impact that that might have on people who are really not used to doing any of that or have been very blocked. And I was teaching I was teaching like a 15-minute portion of Qigong in a bigger workshop that I was doing. And one of the women I knew really well, and she went down for 3 days, and when I talked to her, she was like, she said, "I had the flu," and I was like, "Yeah, you didn't have the flu. This is what happened." But I'm glad that you didn't blame me for that, but
Mhm.
and then in hindsight, after I learned more, because at the time I didn't understand Reiki and energy to the level that I do today. So the more I learned, I was like, "Holy moly, I really put her through it." And it started some progress for her. I think she's not quite ready for more. And once in a while, she'll be like, "I think I'm ready." And I'm like, "Are you? Because we're going to go deep if you want." And she's like, "No, never mind." And then she holds back. "When you're ready, I'm here. You let me know, but it's going to hurt, because if a couple of minutes of stretching and breathing did that to you, you've got some stuff to work through." So I find
Absolutely.
that to be really fascinating. And again, like those couple of days hurt. And then, when you get to the other side of that, you'll be fine. You'll be
Yeah.
absolutely fine and
And I
better, so
love
much better.
seeing that shift.
Mm,
That shift is so inspiring and
hmm.
freeing for them, and they don't
Yeah.
realize we get so stuck in where our bodies are stuck
Hmm.
that it become I lived through that for
Yeah.
years. I
Hmm.
just thought being uncomfortable was
It's our norm.
how you were
Yeah.
supposed to live
It's
life.
your
I
norm.
didn't
Yeah.
know how
That's what we
good
do.
your body is supposed to feel.
Hmm. For
Yeah,
sure.
and I work through I used to have body pain all the time, and now I rarely have any pain. I'm
Nice.
working
I
through a
love
hip
that.
thing right now, but
Yeah. Eh.
it's gonna be
Well,
gone
if we're
soon.
talking midlife stuff, that's a menopause symptom.
Yeah. I don't know.
Ah!
I'm working on it.
Do it,
I'll let
do
you
it.
know.
Fix it and let us all know how to do
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
Well, it's
So
in keeping with what's going on in the world,
yep,
so yeah,
100%, 100%.
yeah.
So tell us what you have to offer this audience, because I know you do have a couple of things and where they can find you.
Absolutely. So everything, my name, I think, is on the screen. So
Mhm.
everything is Alison Stuckey. All of my handles are Alison Stuckey. And you can find me at AlisonStuckey.com. Everything's listed there. I'm just doing a little bit of a revamp with my VA, but everything is there. I do one-to-one healings, which are super powerful. And if you're not quite ready for that,
Mhm.
I have two free offers. So there's a midlife clarity call. And I think you're going to share the
I
link
am.
for
I'll
that.
share the links. Yep.
And the other super fun thing with people who aren't quite sure they can dip their toe in, I offer a 30-minute complimentary energy alignment assessment. So
Mm.
I work typically from physical pain is a cue and a clue for me, as well as emotional pain.
Yeah.
So I ask you some questions, a couple questions before you come to me. I also have started asking, where do you sit on the spiritual scale of 1 to 10? So I know
Mm.
how much I can go into it with somebody. So if
Yep.
you're a 2,
Yep.
we're going to be gentle. If you're a 10 and you're into it all,
Let's
we're
smack you in the
going
face with
deep.
this.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I
I
love that.
one of my abilities is to bridge the gap between
Mhm.
the baby dipping toe
Mhm.
spiritual awakened and the I'm all in, I know everything, let's do it.
Mhm. I
So,
love
yeah,
it. I love it.
yeah.
So I will include all of the links, including your website, and then to those couple of things in the show notes. So everyone, you can go there to find it. So there's
Mm,
so much more I want to talk about,
I'm
but I think
excited.
we need to
I
hold it
know.
here. Well, it's all
Big
right. It's all
comeback.
right. Exactly. Exactly. Allison, thank you so much. I really enjoy your time. And I
Thank you.
enjoyed the conversation. I appreciate your time. I got
Mm,
excited there and had to pull that back. So again, thank you so much for spending your time with us today.
thank you for having me.
Yeah, you bet. Okay, friend, here is the real takeaway. Your body is not betraying you, it's communicating. And the moment you stop treating the signals like they are an inconvenience, everything will start to shift. If you loved Allison's energy and you're curious about working with her, you can find her at Everything Allison Stuckey. She offers powerful one on one healings. And if you're not ready to go that full deep and spiritual just yet, she also has two free options, a midlife clarity call and a 30-minute complimentary energy alignment assessment. I'll put the links for all of those things in the show notes so you can choose your own comfort level, either toe dip or cannonball, whichever one makes you happy. And if you are ready for your next step with me, grab the Radical Resilience book bundle. So that is the book, the workbook, the audio journey. That those are the practices that help you regulate, rewire, and stop living like your nervous system is on a constant group text that is full of chaos. The link for that is also in the show notes. And if you are an event organizer, a leader, a partner that is listening, I bring this work into organizations through keynotes and workshops on burnout, emotional labor, nervous system regulation, and leading without losing yourself. If your people are high performing and quietly fried, let's fix that. My speaking info is also in the show notes. If this really resonated with you, if you enjoyed this, share this episode with a friend that has been fine for way too long. So, my friends, until next time, I love you.